You know, I've spent a great deal of time contemplating the nature of addiction, and I've come to a rather startling conclusion that most people find quite uncomfortable. What if the thing that nearly destroyed you was actually trying to save you? Now, I realize that sounds absurd, perhaps even offensive to those of you who've suffered through the hell of addiction. But stay with me for a moment, because what I'm about to share with you might completely transform how you understand your struggle. You see, I've come to believe that the addict is not a weak person, not a moral failure, not someone who lacks discipline or character. The addict is a mystic who's lost their way, someone whose soul is reaching for transcendence but grasping at the wrong door. And here's what fascinates me. What if your addiction wasn't a curse at all? What if it was a calling? What if God or the universe, or whatever you want to call the fundamental ground of being, has been speaking to you all along through this very suffering? I want to explore with you today something rather profound, a complete reframing of addiction as a form of divine communication. And by the end of this, you may discover that you haven't been cursed, you've been chosen. Let's begin by understanding what we're really dealing with here. Society, in its infinite wisdom, looks at addiction through the narrowest possible lens: disease, dysfunction, moral bankruptcy, someone who can't control themselves, someone who needs to be fixed, medicated, rehabilitated. The whole approach is terribly mechanical. You're a broken machine that needs repair. But this completely misses the point, you see. Because what we call addiction is actually a spiritual crisis masquerading as a chemical dependency. It's the soul in revolt against the shallowness of ordinary existence. It's someone whose inner being is screaming for depth, for meaning, for connection to something vast and true. And when that connection can't be found through conventional means, the seeking becomes desperate, chaotic, self-destructive. I've often said that the addict is attempting to reproduce the mystical experience through chemistry. You're searching for God in a bottle, in a pill, in a powder. Not because you're weak, but because somewhere deep inside you remember that there's more. That ordinary consciousness, ordinary reality, ordinary life as we've constructed it, is simply not enough. The problem isn't the longing. The longing is absolutely sacred. The problem is the method. You see, the substance becomes a false prophet. It promises heaven but delivers hell. It offers a glimpse of unity, of transcendence,